Everyone, welcome to the Stage 1 betting preview for Good for the Game. Well, it all gets going today, the 29th of August. I never thought this race was going to take place at one stage, so I'm incredibly excited for the next 3 weeks and what a route the Tour de France organisers have laid out for us. Let's get straight into the Stage 1 profile. Well, we used to pretty flat stages for the opening stage, guaranteed sprint finishes, and even though I would say the sprint finish is probably sitting at around 90% for this stage, well, it's certainly not going to be straightforward. I think the organisers have got this absolutely spot on the more I look at the route. A little bit of a lumpy start. We then have a 5.8 kilometre climb at 5.1%. It is a circuit, so they do race that same climb again. And we got about 40 kilometres to the end of what is a pretty short stage where anybody who's dropped on the climbs will have the opportunity to try and get back on. Now, the question is really, are they going to ride the climbs hard or not? Now, bear in mind that the prize at the end of the day is a yellow jersey in the Tour de France. It's a great honour. And if I look at the stage, I think we might see some of the teams giving it a big push up the climbs. And you're going to get the likes of Sam Bennett and Caleb Ewan, the stage favourites, whose teams are just going to be trying to hold them in there. They both can climb, hold their own on the climbs, and there's every chance that things stay together. But we could also have a frantic chase over the last sort of 35 to 40 kilometres. It's going to be a very exciting stage one way or another. Don't worry about the early break, which I imagine will get away with 3 or 4 weaker team riders, and they won't be given much leash. And you'll have the likes of Quickstep and obviously Lotto on the front, just pegging them back. But once we get to around about the 50, 60K mark to go, we climb that Costa Ramirez for the second time there. Well, I tell you what, I think things are going to get pretty interesting. I wouldn't be surprised to see the likes of Bora Hansgrohe also setting the pace there in an effort to deaden the legs, because a guy like Peter Sagan, well, he doesn't have the raw speed of a Caleb Ewan or a Sam Bennett, but if he can wear them down, perhaps even drop them, well, then you never know. But let's get into the betting, and I'm going to pop onto World Sports betting site here. This is actually the match betting, which I'll come to a little bit later. Let me pop across and go onto their stage 1 winner betting. Even before I do that, though, let's just have a quick look at the World Sports betting promo, which I must say is a good one. And if you back any rider to win a stage and he comes second, you can get your stake back refunded as free bets. Make sure to check the T&Cs, but it is a cracking one, particularly on a stage like this if you fancy one of the favourites, because there's a good chance they go head-to-head at the end. And if you back Ewan, for example, at 2-1, then you would be able to get your money back as a free bet. So you got Ewan here, 2-1, Sam Bennett, 5-2. The highly informed and Nizzolo, he's just won the European Championship. He's won the Italian Championship. He is 7-1. He's never won a Grand Tour stage. Plenty of second places. Wout van Aert, well, the question is, will he actually be able to have a go at this stage? Jumbo-Visma, of course, have brought him here to work for Roglic and Dumoulin, but there is a chance, and they do say that he will be able to go for the odd stage. Will it be today? Well, if it is, then the 9-1 will be a cracking price, because this man is absolutely on fire. Peter Sagan, you're not often used to see double-figure margins about him in a sprint stage, but he hasn't quite been at his best of late, as you'll see my staking plan. I think that today could be the day where he comes right. I'm not really a big fancy of his for the overall green jersey, but gee whiz, he's an exceptional rider, and I think this is going to be a very hard-ridden stage. Seasball, he's 11-1. You've got Viviani, who's struggling since he moved across to Cofidis from Quickstep. He's 16-1, and you can get 25-1 and better the balance. Now, I will be placing my win bet with World Sports Betting to enable that stake return. But let's go across to Sunbet as well, because they've got an incredible range of cycling markets. Let's have a look at their stage 2. You'll see a little bit different in the betting. They're a slightly bigger price on Ewan, 43-20. I know Chris Sturdy fancies Ewan for the win. I would probably recommend taking the 2-1 though, and rather getting that option of money back for second place. So very similar betting, obviously you'll see here, but let's go down, and what I want to have a look at is Peter Sagan. They're offering podium betting, 12-5 for a podium. You'll see that is something I'm going for today. I think that he's going to really give it horns and show a little bit of a return to form. And if we have a look down here, just some other interesting markets at Sunbet that we'll have a look at. You can back a guy to win, for example, Bennett 9-4, but you can also back him not to win, so you can effectively lay him, which is something I'll be looking at later in the tour, not so much today, but I think it's a great options there from Sunbet here. You can also do the same for a top 3 finish. So if you, for example, fancied the break to stay away today, you could take 12-10 that Bennett doesn't finish in the top 3. So very nice ones there. They've also got plenty of matchups. And let's just look at the race specials. I also like this market, not particularly today, but you've got 1 second or less the winning margin at 1-16. Clearly a big bunch sprint is forecast today. And let's face it, like I said at the start, 90% chance that there will be a bunch sprint. But I'm hoping for some action on those climbs, and I think we're going to get some very tired legs at the end of this 156-kilometer stage. 2 seconds or more there at 6-1. And just popping back to World Sports Betting now, they've also, of course, got their matchups, and I do like their format for the matchups. It's nice and easy to work out a multiple here. I haven't come up with anything yet on the matchups. I don't know if I'm going to be getting involved today. One man I do fancy for a good tour is Matteo Trentini. He's 9-10 here. A slight underdog in his match, but I'm not going to get too involved in the matchups at this point. So then what is my staking plan going to be? And if I can just switch from one monitor to another, I'll bring that up now. Just before I get into that fully, just a reminder that you can subscribe to our channel if you don't want to miss any of our previews. But you can also get daily bets from other punters in the Good for the Game forum. If you see what's scrolling below there, go down to the subscription box and follow that forum thread. Sign up for the forum and comment if you'd like as well. But there's other punters besides me posting their bets there. And then, of course, I've got my Tour de France newsletter. The first edition will be going out this morning, probably 2 or 3 a week. We won't get carried away, and you'll only hear from me during the 3-week Tour de France. But anyway, let's go back to the staking plan. I'm going 0.5 units. So gone to win at 11-1. Just a sneaky feeling I've had as we got close to the stage that this man is going to ride himself back into some good form and that we're going to have a very hard-ridden stage. I also like Chris Sturdy's selection of Caleb Ewan here. If it is going to be a straight sprint finish between the main protagonists, I think that Ewan could have the beating of Sam Bennett. And then I'm going Sagan podium at 12-5. Obviously, if there is a big bunch sprint finish, and even if he finishes behind the top 2, there is a chance that he could pop into third. But I also think if there's a slight selection on the climbs, then Sagan will more than likely find his way in there. That's it for our stage 1 betting preview. Join us Sunday morning or late Saturday night. I'll be posting stage 2. Make sure you hit the subscribe button.